Tonight in The Loop, we're going one-on-one with the man behind God of War, game industry giant, David Jaffe. David Jaffe is one of the video game industry's most outspoken, creative, and innovative designers. Jaffe's God of War series brought slick, stylized gameplay from Greek mythology to the PlayStation 2. The first game stabbed straight through the hearts of critics and fans alike, selling over 2.5 million copies and winning 54 awards. And the highly anticipated sequel to God of War poised to do the same. But now Jaffe is hanging up his bloody blades of chaos for some quick, fun gameplay with the upcoming Calling All Cars for the PlayStation 3's online service. We've got one of gaming's most straight-shooting personalities in-house to talk game design, next-gen console wars, and where all the fun went in gaming. Stick around for a hidden lesbian makeout scene. It's The Loop, one-on-one.
Oh, yeah.
All three people in the studio. Welcome David to The Loop, please. Thank you. Dave.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
It is an honor to have you back. So Calling All Cars.
Yes.
This is a $9 downloadable game.
Yes.
On the Sony, what do they call it? The PlayStation Network?
PlayStation Network.
Okay,
yeah.
So it's downloadable on the Sony PlayStation Network.
Yeah.
Coming out in April.
April, yes.
What's the concept? Give me that PR pitch.
The PR pitch is that it's basically a game of cops and robbers meets basketball, where you are you and your buddies play cops trying to round up criminals running around a city, and basically deposit them into various hoops in the jails that are worth different points depending on the difficulty of getting into those hoops. And it really is designed to be a game that sort of harkens back to games like NFL Blitz, NBA Jam, Dodgeball on the NES from back in the day, games that I was playing when I first started in the industry as a tester. Calling All Cars is really about, from the ground up, let's build a game that really delivers those emotions to players, and that's what we've tried to do. And I think you either stay in one place and you get stagnant, or you you follow your gut and you follow sort of the things that you follow the things that excite you, and you follow the things. I don't even like beer, so
they can be nursed or not. I'm okay with that. Here's why I call these out, because I want you to know where I'm coming from, a place of love. Well, let's rapid fire through some stuff, because I really want to get your take on a bunch of different issues. If we're looking at perhaps the greatest innovation of all these next-gen consoles, would it then be fair to say that maybe Microsoft is in the lead because their network seems to be heads and tails above? I mean, they've got the video, they got the high def, they got their arcade up and running. I mean, I know Sony is slowly getting there. But
yeah, no, I mean, they are. We're as Sony.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's crazy. I mean, it's like, look, the reality.
Oh, no, you should stop there, because we'll clip that out.
I'm sure you will too. No, I mean, in the lead. I mean, they've been on the market longer.
Sure.
You know, they've been at this a little bit longer. So right now, I think it's safe to say that you can look at their service and go, oh, look, they have more of the boxes ticked of what they
features
have.
And
I think you also have to look at the elegance of the PlayStation 3. You have to look at the potential of the PlayStation 3. I think in a year from now, you know, if we're not neck and neck, we'll be ahead of them in terms of what the online experience offers. But ultimately, though, if you're looking for a good sort of what is the future of downloadable content and what is the future of how these online networks can work,
I'm really looking for how is this console race going to play out? What's the future of this?
Who knows? I don't know.
I'm curious what your take is.
Okay,
because I had one opinion that was very strong in the past. It's slowly changed.
Here's what I think. I think ultimately Sony. And I work for Sony, right? So everyone's going to think I'm a Sony fanboy. I have a 360, which I just got the red ring the other day, and I'm pissed. But I have.
Brick happens, you know.
I know. I have a 360. I love my 360. I don't have a Wii yet. I don't know how it's going to play out. I do think Sony is best positioned to be ultimately the box that everybody really has and gravitates towards and loves. And, you know, is our Xbox has going to...
And last question, because we're upset.
Well, do you agree or disagree?
Well, here's what I'm saying, is that I agree that the Sony hardware is superior. And in the last gen, I said Xbox was my favorite console over PlayStation 2 because I'm a PC gamer at the heart.
Right.
And so I operate on specs. What can this console offer me? Kind of lost my question, but that's all right. I was going to say is you say that in a year's time, right? That PlayStation box will be the box to have. Probably.
I think so.
Maybe a year, 2 years, even 5 years, because the console race may last that long for this gen.
Right.
Looking at that, why is it so cool to hate Sony right now? Then is it because their box isn't there? Is it overpriced? Is it that the games aren't there? I mean, I think it's safe to say that there's this kind of air in the community of it's PlayStation 3.
I think the reality is that they're Sony probably made some PR mistakes when it comes to sort of, the message and how they delivered that message. I think I've said time and again that the biggest problem Sony has is communicating how special that $600 box is, because that $600 price point kicks you in the gut.
Sure.
And
so is it a communication thing, or do they need to get the price point down?
Well, of course. I mean, Sony would love to get the price point down and still be profitable, and I'm sure that that's something that they're working on a daily basis of how can we still do good business, but at the same time, sell this box for cheaper. But I also think the reality is when you do look at a lot of what you're getting in the PlayStation 3, that message hasn't been communicated well enough yet. And so I think, when you say why is it cool to hate Sony right now, I think, look, you asked for $600 when in the past no one has asked for that kind of money for this console. That immediately gets your guard up and gets you ready to go.
Especially when you ask for it with a giant PowerPoint presentation at E3 and you point to the number and say, people are going to want to work hard for it. But
listen, that was,
With that said, and
that wasn't great.
This is me being completely honest with you, David, that seeing Calling All Cars for 10 minutes was the first time, as a non-PlayStation owner, I felt jealous of any content that was on
a competing console.
Thank you so much. And I say that, and I thank you so much for the interview.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.
All right.
All right, I want to thank David for joining us in the Loop one-on-one. Be sure to look for his newest game, Calling All Cars, coming out April 19th. It'll be downloadable on your PlayStation 3.
Attack of the Show, weeknights at 7, only on G4.